Welcome back to the most unpredictable Supercross tour we've seen in quite some time. It's the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Jason Weigandt and Jim Holley wrapping up from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Josh Hill has become the 5th different winner this year in the Supercross class, and Ryan Villapoto nails his first win of the year in East Region Lights. Let's start with Josh Hill. A lot of people wondering why this kid would move up in just his second year as a pro, but there are no questions any longer.
Well, I think as a rider, you know that you're struggling maybe on a light bike, and you know it's a big challenge to go to the factory Yamaha and say, look, you know, I'd like to ride a Supercross bike when they already have plenty of Supercross guys in there, and then they ride the lights class. I think that was a bold move on his part and Yamaha's to let him say that you know, they were out at the practice tracks during the off season in the fall, looking at him and going, man, he's running fast lap times, you know, maybe we have something here. And he's proven it this year with a couple second place finishes, and now he comes away with his first win in the Supercross class, and he did it convincingly. But he knows that Chad Reed was faster tonight. He said, you know, Chad closed up on him, but Chad just had that one little mistake in the whoops where he went down, and the birthday boy was fighting you know, flu-like symptoms, had a chest cold and everything, and I think it just took a lot out of him, and Chad Reed was able to get back up and finish second. But what a great win for Hill, and how about Dungey? Second place finish, and Dungey's going to be in that same position where Josh Hill was. Do I move up or do I stay in the lights class? And you know, we asked him, you know, when we were talking to him after the race, are you going to move up? And he said, yeah, I'd still like, but I don't think Suzuki and Roger DeCoster and all the guys are going to let him. I think that they're going to say, hey, look, you need to do, and especially if in Toronto in a couple weeks, if he can finish up on the podium again, you got to remember that Dungey, this is the first podium in 08 that Suzuki's had in the Supercross class. So they need a guy like that up there, and if Josh Hill keeps winning and keeps getting on the podium, then for sure Suzuki's going to look at that and go, look what Josh Hill's doing. We need you up in here in 09.
With the kids doing so well, Hill and Dungey, the question is what happened to everyone else? And you mentioned that Chad Reed went down. He was already kind of struggling physically. He was sick coming in. Then he crashed, and he was barely able to scratch and claw his way up to 7th. But Kevin Windham, kind of a surprise tonight. He had a great opportunity to make up maximum points on Reed. He got third and made up some, but not as many as he could have.
Well, and if you look at that third place finish where Reed finished up in that 7th, that is 6 points, and he had a 23 deficit that he had to try to overcome. Yeah, he did get 6 points on Chad Reed tonight. He did bring it down to 17, but on the other hand, if he would have won, that would have gave him another 5 more points, and then that would only have been 12 points down going in. So, you know, I think Kevin Windham's happy with his ride. You know, the pace was pretty fast tonight. I mean, I think that Hill and Dungey, the young kids, they said, hey, we're not waiting around for you old guys no more, man. We're going for it. And they did it. And by the time they get out there and Kevin Windham saw that Chad Reed was down, I think Kevin Windham changed his mindset and said, okay, hey, I'm going to have to settle for third. I'm going to gain some valuable points instead of trying to push it. Now, if Chad Reed might have been in second place or winning the thing, maybe Windham would have changed his mind and stepped it up a little bit.
Well, he stepped it up as best he could. He got third. But speaking of stepping it up, let's go to that lights class. Unbelievable race tonight. It came down to the last turn, and Ryan Villapoto ends up taking his first win of the year.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is make sure you check out that speed coverage, and I believe it's next Saturday, so it's a weekend off. I get a chance to watch it. It'll be Easter weekend because it was incredible. I mean, these guys, you had the feeling that it was just going to go down to that last lap, the last turn, and sure enough, that's exactly what it did. I mean, that last half a lap in that main event was quite a battle, and Villapoto trying to get around Josh Grant the whole race. Josh Grant riding a beautiful race, and both of these riders had a lot at stake because of the fact that you know, Villapoto had a couple podiums, but he had yet to have a win in the 08 season. Josh Grant coming in struggled. He had not been on the podium all year, and here he is, both these guys leading it right there. And what can you say? Trey Kennard comes away with the 4th place. It could have been disasterful for Trey Kennard tonight. He had that crash in the first lap of the second practice, injured himself a little bit, comes back in the heat race, got moved around a little bit. Villapoto wins the heat race. Trey Kennard finishes in second. He didn't get a good start, but you know what? He did, I like to call damage control.
Right.
He did exactly what he had to do, and he finished up in 4th, and he only lost a few points to Villapoto. Now, if his teammate Grant would have won, that would have helped him out. But, you know, he still did a great job. And how about Martin Davalos on the KTM coming away with 3rd, another podium for him. You know, he's knocking on the door also for a win.
Well, you got to give credit to Trey Canard. A lot of people are wondering, well, you know, he's doing well when he gets the whole shot, and he doesn't have any problems. He had a bunch of problems tonight. He had some bike problems in practice. He got injured in practice. He didn't get good starts. And despite all that, he still pulled off a fourth-place finish. And if Villopota's waiting for a mistake, the golden opportunity might have come tonight, and Canard really didn't give much to bite off.
No, I mean, Canard coming in had a 31-point lead, and he only bit off 7 points. That's all Villopoto could get, and there's only 3 rounds to go. So, you know, if that same thing, that scenario happens with 3 more rounds to go and he gets 7 points, well, 7 times 3 is 21, so that's not going to do it. So it is still, you know, these guys are going to have a long time off. You got to remember that a lot of the lights guys are not going up to Toronto because it's not part of their series, so they're going to use that to their advantage and take it off. So they're going to have Easter off, they're going to have Toronto off. The next time we're going to see the lights guys are going to be April 5th in Dallas. So that's a long time away.
Yeah, the weekend off for Easter is definitely some rest for the weary. We haven't had any weekends off on this tour all year long. I'm sure Chad Reed's looking forward to getting some couch time to try to recover from his flu-like symptoms. And Trey Canard with a bad ankle couldn't pick a better time to get to 2 weekends of points-paying racing off in his lights division. So these guys are going to be ready to go. And we go racing again in Toronto. And for lights guys the next week, it's going to be awesome. And I just cannot believe how unpredictable this series has been.
No, it is. And I mean, you know, we've talked to that before on the webcast that, you know, as soon as James Stewart pulled out, you know, at Anaheim 2 after winning, you know, you said, okay, Reed won, Anaheim won, Stewart won Phoenix. Stewart's out here because, oh, you know, it's over. Reed's going to come away. He's going to win the rest of the events. Hey, nothing doing. You know, Kevin Windham steps up in Houston. Millsap steps up in Atlanta. And tonight, Josh Hill steps up for Yamaha again. I mean, like you said, 5 different winners in this series, and I don't think anybody would have predicted that. I thought that, you know, everybody said, yeah, maybe Kevin might slip in there for a win, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah, it's been great, and we got a lot more racing yet to come. So enjoy your weekend off as we will for Easter, and then tune us back in on supercrossonline.com when we join you from the Rogers Center in Toronto on March the 29th. Thanks for watching.